Full and uncut versions available on Patreon. Check in the description below.
Greetings once again, Pokemaniacs. Duuz-Diz-Din back again with more of the Pokemon Adventures manga. Coming to you from the new location. Finally. It's been a long, rough road, but I'm finally here. Outside of my mom's house. I was already technically kind of out, but at the same time, it's complicated. Regardless, it's a new beginning. So if you want to help support me and, not living with my mom, feel free to donate $1 to my Patreon. Or more if you wish to control the narrative of what I watch. But regardless, this is a Pokemon discussion. Gold has continued on with his journey to find Silver, slowly starting to gain more and more respect for the young man, despite still considering Silver a thief, which he is. Gaining more Pokemon like Sudowoodo and having Togepi hatch out of the egg that Professor Elm's assistant gave him, Gold is told to take some time out to train a little bit and grow a little bit stronger, which he does, with his Cyndaquil evolving into a Quilava. Later on, though, Gold is sent out to investigate a massive earthquake that shook Ecruteak City to its core, figuratively and literally. The couple who owned the Pokemon daycare where Gold was training asked him to look out for Jasmine. I keep calling her Janine. And it's during this rescue mission that Gold once again happens upon Silver, and they are surrounded suddenly by Team Rocket. As it turns out, the earthquake was the result of their action, a way of announcing Team Rocket's grand return to the limelight. But Gold and Silver managed to team up and take it to Team Rocket something fierce, causing them to retreat. As the bozos beat feet, Gold and Silver decide that it's finally time to test each other out. They've both grown in experience. Why not see what the other is made of? And thus, their battle will be in the ruins of Ecruteak City. Well, half of the city. Who will come out on top? Join me as I find out, won't you? Alright, we pick up in chapter 111, Tyranitar War. Yeah, one of Silver's more signature Pokemon is a Tyranitar, right? Right. Gold shouts out, well, it's time to stop talking and fight. They both send out Pokemon. Gold sends out Quilava, while Silver sends out Crocodile. Crocodile. I had to double check. And while Gold commands Quilava to use Ember, Crocodile easily jumps over it, with Silver commanding it to use Water Gun, which is naturally super effective against the fire Pokemon. Gold panics, saying, shoot, I'm already in a hole. Silver then has Crocodile use Bite, but because Gold commands Quilava to use Double Team, Crocodile bites down on nothing, damn near shattering its teeth. Gold cheers with a smile, saying, this isn't ending that fast. Better pace yourself. But suddenly Crocodile juts out the old broken teeth and grows new ones, biting down on Quilava and tossing it in the air. Gold shouting, it grew new teeth? Expo! He then brings out another Pokemon saying, shoot, it's Sunkern. Gold tells him, Sunbow, help Expo, sunny day. But Silver brings out his Sneasel, which, gotta bring out my Sneasel. And Silver says, I don't think so. And he commands Sneasel to use Blizzard, really freezing Sunkern solid. Gold then commands Quilava to use Ember against Sneasel, which I think might be super effective, because I think Sneasel is Dark Ice, so it should be weak to Fire-type attacks. But, unfortunately, type advantage don't matter much if you can't hit your opponent. As Sneasel dodges the blasts of Ember, Gold brandishes another Pokeball saying, Sneasel's so fast. Do I go with Avo? Silver readies himself as Gold says, or fake with Avo and use Sudowoodo, bringing out his Sudowoodo. Jesus, that is so wild to see. Gold commands Sudowoodo to use Low Kick, and Sudowoodo's leg just starts extending all over the place like he's made of rubber like Monkey D. Luffy. He manages to knock Sneasel off balance. Gold cheering, saying, gotcha. Taking Silver off guard, he says, what? Gold then commands, now go. As Sudowoodo pumps himself up, as Gold commands it to use Dynamic Punch, though Sneasel is able to dodge out of the way, but this causes several rocks to go flying, one of which hits Silver's Pokegear, causing it to fall to the ground. I wonder if that's going to be plot relevant. And I can't tell if Sneasel is grabbing it in this panel or something else. But Silver smiles, saying, 2 isn't enough, while Silver smiles, saying, looks that way. They actually seem to be having a lot of fun. I like this. Oh, Silver brings out his Ursa Ring and commands it to use Fury Swipes, while Gold commands Sudowoodo to use Mimic, and they're just going at it. But it actually looks like Sudowoodo is taking the brunt of the hit. Silver sneers, saying, how long do you think Mimic can last? As he brings out his Pokédex, and Gold does the same, looking through it, saying, shoot, Sudowoodo's HP is getting low. Silver then brings out his Kingdra, which, because of the nature of Sudowoodo, type advantage. Silver commands it to use the final blow, dousing Sudowoodo with water. As Gold calls out, no, Sudowoodo! And as Sudowoodo falls, Gold questions, Kingdra? Silver says, when we exchanged Politoed before, I evolved my Seadra into a Kingdra. Wait, can Kingdra only evolve through trading? Yeah, and it's holding a dang! So Silver was even thinking about that in the moment. That is smart, because I don't normally really do trades, because I'm just like, no, I want my Pokemon. But dude, oh man, he was thinking about what he could get out of the moment even then. That is wild. Gold brandishes his Pokeball, saying, keep going, next. While Silver smiles, saying, of course, brandishing his own Pokeball. But just as they're about to unleash their Pokemon, a voice calls out from Silver's Pokegear that goes off, saying, Silver, your next objective is at the Lake of Rage. Ooh, one of my favorite plot points in Johto. Gold, pausing, thinks the phone in his Pokegear. The voice on the Pokegear says, we receive reports of strange Pokemon activity in the vicinity. We need on-site confirmation. I'll await your report. Is Silver working with the feds in this universe? It's starting to feel that way. A hush comes across the battlefield. Gold questions, what was that? So, thinking to himself, and who are you? While Silver puts his Pokeball in his pocket, then brandishing another Pokeball. Says H to the heavy ball? And as he brings out his new Pokemon, much to Gold's shock, something looms over Gold. It's a Tyranitar. Gold calls out in shock and horror as the creature roars. Gold brings out his Apom, saying, he's had that all along? Abo! But Apom is smacked to the ground with ease as Gold shouts, look out! Apom is knocked to the ground hard as Silver silently thinks, oh no. Gold is thinking as he sees Silver just watching silently. He thinks Silver's not even giving commands. What kind of fighting is this? Hey, he shouts out as he and Apom dodge Tyranitar's attacks. Silver says Tyranitar's level is so high that when it goes on a rampage, even I can't control it. Oh, it's one of those. So it's just like Ash's Charizard. Something beyond Silver's capabilities. Because I did think that too. I'm like, a Tyranitar? That's, I'm not saying that Silver couldn't have one. It's just, what level? Yeah, they evolved at level 55. I don't think Silver is at that point yet. And Gold questions, what? Silver then sighs, saying, about time. He turns to walk away, saying, for it to bring out its special attack, Sandstorm. And Tyranitar does just that, whipping up a massive sandstorm that Gold and Apom are caught up in. Gee, and it's not just Apom. All of Gold's Pokemon are caught up in the sandstorm as he calls out to all of them. Gold then brings out Politoed, saying, Polibo, water gun. And Politoed uses it on Tyranitar, which it should be super effective. Because, yeah, he's a rock dark type, but still rock. So that typing is gonna get Tyranitar a little bit of trouble. Gold commands Politoed to use water gun. Silver says it's no use. As suddenly, Murkrow jumps in the way, blocking off Politoed's water gun. Tyranitar gets pissed and knocks Politoed to the ground. Its Gold calls out for it. Suddenly, Tyranitar has some kind of realization. It freezes in place. Oh! Gold thinks, did it work? did he have a plan? This feels very red. Silver turns, saying, what? As Tyranitar wobbles, Silver turns on a dime, saying, Tyranitar, impossible. What happened? And we see embedded in Tyranitar is Togepi. Silver's saying Togepi, but when? Gold gives a cheeky smile, saying Politoed was a decoy. So Togepi could slip in with Double Edge. Politoed was a decoy, so Togepi could slip in with Double Edge. Now, and then suddenly Togepi falls off. Gold saying, Togebo, get out of the way. As Tyranitar falls over on top of Togepi, or they're both just out. Regardless, as they fall, Gold says, ow. And Silver is stunned silent. He finally gets out the words, Tyranitar defeated? Gold then says, X-Bow, Sunbow, Pseudobow, Alibow, or Ibow, Polybow, and Togebo. All down for the count. Well, Silver, looks like I lose. And Silver turns in a state of shock. Gold, though with a smile on his face, says, but I made you resort to your 6 Pokemon, so much for your handicap. And as Silver is surrounded by all of his Pokemon, he gives a defiant, Gold then chucks Silver's Pokegear over to him, saying, there you go. And next time, I'm gonna win. He gives a thumbs up. And as Sneasel goes over to Gold, he says, hey. Silver looks at his Pokegear, thinking, could he really have picked this up in the middle of the sandstorm? If he'd used that time to give a command instead, this battle could have actually gone his way. And we see Gold petting Sneasel. Silver then calls out, let's go, Sneasel. As Silver recalls all of his Pokemon except Crocodile and Sneasel. He walks away saying, Gold, you've proven yourself. You should be satisfied now. Stop following me around. Oh no, if anything, this will give him more of a reason to follow you around. But Silver stops, turns to Gold, and brings out his Pokédex, with a holographic image coming out, as he says, for your efforts, I'll answer your question. Gold says, you mean Silver closes his Pokédex after showing an image of the Ho-Oh statue. He says, Team Rocket attacked Ecruteak City in order to call forth Ho-Oh. Gold questions, call forth? Silver explains, saying, it's said that the Tin Tower is where the legendary Pokemon Ho-Oh nest. Team Rocket hopes that destroying Tin Tower will trigger Ho-Oh's homing instinct. Gold questions, do you mean they destroyed the city just to bring some Pokemon back to its nest? Which, dang. And Silver declares, as for my mission, it's to crush them, and also to follow Ho-Oh. In order to achieve those ends, I can't be choosy about the means, not even if I have to break the law. And Crocodile gives a determined glance at Quilava, who is a little taken aback by this. That's interesting. So, Crocodile knows of Silver's quests, and he decided to help out? Interesting. Silver then states, Sneasel, Crocodile, let's go. And all 3 of them dash off into the distance, leaving Gold and the rest of his Pokemon left to ponder. Gold then says, I don't care who he's going up against. I still don't see why he has to fight alone. Plus Crocodile hasn't come back home yet. Is it Expo? And Quilava gives a nod. Gold then says, wait up, I'm coming with you. He and his Pokemon dash after Silver, ready to take up the fight. Well, I like that, because Silver has no reason to lie to Gold. That's the thing. And he hasn't really done so before either. He's, at most, been dismissive. And to finally get that straightforward answer, and it's an answer that makes a lot of sense. Team Rocket did wrong, and I'll do anything to stop them. Even if I have to do a little bit of bad as well. But in the process, he's doing so much good. Very interesting. Like an even harder edge version of Green. We then cut to Viridian City, where the fisherman from before, he got all the way over here already? Dang. Has just arrived, saying, it's been a while since I've been in Kanto. Hope she's doing well. Oh, he's visiting Yellow? Yep, it's her. The voice calls out, yes. Fisherman says, it's me. The voice says, who is it? The fisherman says, don't say that. Didn't I teach you how to fish? Oh, and didn't I give you Doduo? How is Doduo anyway? He's the one who gave her Doduo. Okay. I kept kind of wondering about that, where she got the Doduo, because that's not really a native Pokemon to Viridian. That's interesting. And there she is. Yellow swings open the door saying, Fisherman! Is that his actual name? Jeez. It's so good to see you. The fisherman rustles Yellow's hair, saying, I miss you, Yellow. I hear you went through a lot last year, huh? Yellow chuckles. The fisherman then asks, how's things been since then? Yellow says, it's been okay. The cities of Kanto are mostly rebuilt, and people seem a lot more relaxed lately. The fisherman then notices something. Oh, female Pikachu. He looks down, seeing the female Pikachu, saying, who's this one? Yellow says, Choo-Choo, my Pikachu. And Choo-Choo jumps into her arms. Yellow explains, saying, I found Choo-Choo injured in the Viridian Forest and brought it back with me. Fisherman pets Choo-Choo, saying, looks like Choo-Choo's really taken to you. Yellow then says, so, fisherman, what brings you here? Yeah, he's kind of overly friendly, but he's not a bad guy. Fisherman says, I've missed you. And, well, I have a favor to ask. Yellow questions, a favor? The fisherman says, yeah. Can you come to Johto with me? Yellow says, why Johto? The fisherman explains, saying, I looked into what you asked me about before. The big flying type Pokemon that disappeared a year ago in Johto. Oh, okay. See, Yellow knows how to network. I like that. It gives a lot more importance to the Pokegear and the calls that you would receive randomly from different trainers. I think that was the thing that actually did happen too, where you get tips and stuff. Fisherman says, the thing's dangerous. I can't handle it myself. I need a skilled trainer. Yellow tells him, in that case, I'm hardly the one to ask. The only reason I was able to win a year ago was because of everyone else's help. Fisherman says, but who else can I turn to? I mean, on the one hand, yeah, you're right. You won with the power of friendship, but girl, yeah, you still really pulled through on that one. Don't sell yourself short. Yellow ponders for a moment and then says, how about Red? The fisherman questions, that Red? And Yellow turns and puts on her hat, saying, how many Reds do you know? Cheeky. The Yellow Caballero sets off once again, thinking, he's solo training. He's usually right around here somewhere. Yes, and she spots Red. There he is. Red's out training with Venusaur, saying, go Venusaur, Vine Whip. Venusaur smashes some boulders. Yellow shouts, amazing. Red then says, Venusaur, return, and recalls Venusaur's Pokeball that he misses. Yellow is shocked. Oh, Daisy. Red kinda laughs it off, saying, oh well. While Daisy picks up Venusaur's Pokeball, saying, your hands still get weak, Red? Oh god, does he have nerve damage? Red says, only sometimes, but when they do, they go totally numb. My ankles too, where Lorelei's ice rings got me. Oh geez. So, wait, does Sabrina have this too? Because she's technically the only other one who suffered with the ice ring. Because for Green, it was her Ditto. I wonder if Green's Ditto is suffering from some kind of nerve damage. I didn't think that would actually come back like this. Oh, here it is. We cut to Silver, next to the Lake of Rage. He uses his Pokegear to check his map, which, the way they depict the map always fills me with joy. Silver says, this is it. Begin mobilization. Mobilization. And Gold now enters the picture, now by the Lake of Rage as well with his Quilava. Gold looks around, huffing and puffing, saying, weird. I know I saw him around here, but where'd he go? Let's rest a while, he says, leaning on the railing next to the Lake of Rage. But suddenly, there's movement in the water. Jaws! Gold notices this, saying, when suddenly, a massive Gyarados erupts from the water. And that might not be the right color. One of my favorite Pokemon, Gyarados. In chapter 112, raise the red Gyarados. Gold freaks out and the people start to panic. Gold says, man, that's one active lake, right? The man says, you, kid, run, now! Short, sweet, and to the point. As Gold takes off with the crowd of people, he asks the man, what's going on? The man says, a mass outbreak of Gyarados. If they all start rampaging, they could destroy the town. Yes, it could lead to Dragon Rage. But something catches Gold's attention as a figure is moving against the current of the crowd. Gold spots Silver, and he turns on a dime, saying, gotcha, let's go, Exvo. And he and Quailava take off following Silver. As Silver races next to the lake, he gets ready, saying, okay. But suddenly, someone grabs his hand, saying, whoa, it's Gold. What's this thing you have going about going it alone. I can help. I love that. He's just like, I will help you if you know what's going on in this. But Silver shoves him to the side, narrowly avoiding being crushed by a Gyarados body slamming into the ground as I see a massive crater form where, oh, I mean, it's a divot, a big divot. It's more like a trench form from where the Gyarados slammed down, which could have contained 2 bloody spots. Silver points to it saying, if you want to follow, take a look around you. Gold questions, huh? Silver tells him, can't you sense it? Gold questions, sense. He then looks to the lake with a Magikarp flashing about, and then suddenly, just like that, it evolves into a Gyarados. Gold questions, what's going on? Silver shows off his Pokegear, which is nothing but static, saying, electromagnetic waves filling the air, enforcing Pokemon evolutions, hence the mass Gyarados outbreak, which, dang, that's pretty metal. Gold questions forcing, but where are the waves coming from? Silver takes off on his Murkrow as Gold shouts, get back here! Silver just shouts back, you keep them confined there. So, I love it. He's not even denying having Gold help him. He's just like, hey, you do this. Try not to die. You probably won't. Gold gets pissed saying, you're not the boss of me. Only for him to be interrupted by another Gyarados almost crashing into him. Gold sends out Politoed, saying, shoot, Polivo, double slap. And Politoed starts smacking around a Gyarados. And then another Gyarados appears, and then another. Gold saying there's no end in sight as he sees more Magikarp being forced to evolve. Gold says, more? How did I let myself get stuck with this? Idiot. Like, hey, you're the one who decided to follow no matter what. Meanwhile, Silver is flying above the lake of rage with his Murkrow. He thinks to himself, can't waste my resources fighting all of them. Gotta hit the source. Where's the transmitter? Meanwhile, Gold is staring the near misses of all the Gyarados thrashing about. He yells out, there's no way to stop them. The town's gonna be helpless. We gotta stop the waves. But where are they coming from? While Silver says, it's gotta be near here. I don't see anything man-made. Both Silver and Gold say, what is the transmitter? And I love how instantly they're on the same page. Like best friends. Full on, did we just become best friends? Meanwhile, at Elm's house, he's at his computer saying, I don't like this. Joey walks up saying, what's up, Professor? Elm turns to him saying, can you get in touch with Gold right now? Joey tells him, oh, actually. He shows off nothing but static on the computer, saying the connection's down. Nothing but static. Is it broken? Thinks for a moment, saying, not broken, some sort of electromagnetic interference. He then thinks to himself, saying, I just hope Gold isn't caught up in anything dangerous. Buddy, you know he is. Danger might as well be this kid's middle name. Ooh. Okay, there he is. We then cut back to Gold, bearing the brunt of the storm and torrent of Gyarados raging in the lake, and then he spots one specifically, shining in the middle, with an even more menacing face than a normal Gyarados. Red sees it saying, a red Gyarados? It's acting weird too. Both Silver and Gold's Pokegear start to get even more staticky. They notice this, with Gold saying the wave is stronger. Silver says, could it be? Gold says the transmitter is this Pokemon, as he dodges out of the way of a massive torrent of water fired from Gyarados' mouth. As Gold readies himself, he says, I hate to hurt a Pokemon, but what can I do? As Silver calls out, Gold, wait, as he flies down on his Murkrow. That's a wild Pokemon, capture it. It'll no longer function the same. Gold says, good thinking. I just gotta stop it. And he commands Politoed to use Whirlpool, but then the red Gyarados is caught up in it. Gold calls out, can't reach it from here. You gotta capture it. Silver says, okay. He tells Murkrow to use Pursuit, and he tosses out a Pokeball, capturing the red Gyarados like it was nothing. And I gotta say, the capture of the red Gyarados was a lot simpler here than I don't know. Something about when it happened in the game made it feel like much more of a epic event? Maybe that's just me. But, well, they did it. Silver says yes. As he lands, he then checks his Pokegear, while Gold watches the various Gyarados just swim away. saying they're all going back to the lake. Guess we actually pulled it off. Turns to Silver saying, what are you doing? Silver says, analyzing the wave's frequency. I can track down the ultimate source and destroy it. Gold says, good thinking. But why would anybody do this? Artificially forcing Pokemon to evolve. But suddenly, there's a low rumbling. Gold questions, is it like the earthquake? Oh no, he simply says, is it like the earthquake? Silver takes a moment and then says, Gold, this is my last warning. Don't get involved with me. The opponent I'm pursuing now is far stronger than those Team Rocket stooges we fought in Eckerty. An amateur trainer like you can only get in my way. See, this comes off more like he's trying to protect him, which is so weird because this was not the vibe at this point in the game. But Gold turns away saying, I'm already involved. Silver questions, what? But Gold smiles saying, I'm involved in anything to do with Team Rocket. New Bark, Alf, Azalea, they made me involved. Silver then brings out a Pokeball with a menacing look saying, so you won't leave? Gold readies himself saying, you want to fight? Fine with me. I could have won last time, you know. As the two boys get ready for a Pokemon battle, Gold calls out, it's about time you learn, Silver, that I pick my own battles. Kid, I'll be honest, you pick every battle. Like, I feel like you'd fight a baby if push came to shove. Ooh, but suddenly there's a mysterious haze coming across the battlefield. Gold says, fog? I've seen this fog somewhere. It can't be. And both he and Silver turn, Gold shouting, that guy, as the masked man comes out of the mist, laughing. The masked man says, you two again. That's right, he has met Silver previously. Gold raises himself saying, look who's talking. I thought you stayed in your forest. The masked man says, I owe no explanations. But Silver then notices something in the haze. Well, Gold gets ready to jump in. He says, you're right. Let's just settle this fight. But Silver grabs him by the collar saying, Gold, stop moving around or you'll play right into his hand. Gold tells him, what am I supposed to do, stand still? As he sends in Politoed with a dynamic punch right to the masked man's face. In Chapter 113, Delibird Delivery, Part 1. Gold says, yes, it connected. We really are stronger. This time I'm not gonna... But then he notices Politoed's hand is frozen. The masked man says, that's what you call stronger? Gold says, shoot. And he dashes in saying, you'll regret that. But Silver jumps in, bringing out his Kingdra and commanding it to use Twister, cutting off Gold's forward momentum. Gold gets angry saying, get out of this. Oh, this creep big time. And I'm gonna... And Silver tells him, shut up, look around you. Gold then notices ice thorns jutting out of the ground. Yes, but how? But he then says, oh, I get it. Hidden by the fog. Silver tells him, if you'd charge, you'd be hash now. Yeah, you've been a friggin' gold kebab, frozen treat. Suddenly, there's a call on Gold's Pokegear. Gold says, Professor Elm? As he answers, Elm says, Gold, is that you? I'm so glad I caught you. I completed my analysis of that gold powder. I almost can't bring myself to believe it, but its crystalline structure matched that of the trainer badges held only by the gym leader. Which, okay, gym badges coming up again, but the gym leaders haven't really played that big of a role just yet. And Faulkner is already kind of important. Bugsy, not so much Whitney. Elm says, the masked man you fought in Elix Forest may be a former gym leader. Ooh, is it now? But we don't know which one. It's hard to imagine a more dangerous opponent than a gym leader. Yeah, hard to imagine. And they're very elite. Even if there were 4 of them, I think they'd be pretty formidable. Elm says, but knowing you, you'll rush right into combat him. I love how this is being said as it's literally happening. He says, no matter what, don't fight him. Do you understand, Gold? And as the call cuts out, Gold says, thanks for the warning, Professor, but it came a little too late. As he faces off with a masked man that is menacing Delibird. I'm sorry, it's just so weird to see a Delibird be menacing. Gold gets a little nervous saying, looks like we've got a real fight on our hands. Silver tells him, I think I said that already. Gold tells him, yo, shut up. It's like, now you understand. The masked man says, I'm tired of you pests buzzing me. He commands his Delibird to use Blizzard, whipping up an ice storm against the two boys. Gold sees the world around him freeze, saying, the trees are freezing over. Now I see how he made these spikes. The masked man tells them, which one shall I take care of first? Or should I get rid of both of you at once? You can't run away like last time. Silver. This causes Silver to become incensed, and he sends in his Sneasel to strike. Sneasel almost hits Delibird, but it manages to evade as well as the masked man. Gold shouts out to Silver, questioning this very brash action as he thinks, what's going on? As Sneasel and Delibird continue to clash, Silver commands Sneasel to use Icy Wind, which, come on, Delibird's an Ice-type Pokemon. The masked man then commands Delibird, to attack Gold instead and its Politoed, saying that's the target. Gold eats the hit, much to Silver's shock as he says, what? But because Silver let his guard down, the masked man tells him, fooled you, and Delibird goes in and cold clocks Silver in the face. Ooh, down in the boy. Ooh. Gold calls out to Silver as the masked man stands on Silver's arm. As Silver is pinned down, the masked man says, it's been 5 years, Silver. How perfect that you'd be the one following. 5 years, is that? I don't know if that's the right time frame. I wonder. Maybe I'm miscalculating that. As Gold tries to get up in pain from the attack, he thinks they know each other? The masked man says, what are you thinking of? Revenge? Silver tells him, perhaps. While Gold calls out, hey, what's all this about? The masked man tells him, 9 years ago I searched the land for children with high trainer potential, and kidnapped them. Which, dang, how many kids did he kidnap? I actually don't know how big of a plot point that is, because it makes it seem like there's at least, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in total. Enough to make your own kind of brand of gym leaders. Gold shouts, you were kidnapping kids? For what? Like, whoa, child kidnapping, child snatcher. He was under that white van all along. It's like how Mew was under that truck. Can't trust cars in this universe. That's why you don't see that many of them. The masked man says, what else? He uses my slaves. Dang. Oof. Telling it like it is. Why was the once powerful Team Rocket destroyed? Because of dissension within its rank. Power requires obedience. Servants as unthinking as those Gyarados. Children can be molded into perfect slaves if you teach them early enough, just like a Gyarados trained from when it's a Magikarp. Gold grows even more angry, saying, you gotta pay, while Silver tries to get out of Pokeball. But the masked man says, don't do anything rash, Silver. He has Delibird form ice spikes on his hand, threatening Gold, as the masked man says, not unless you want something to happen to him. Silver doesn't respond. The masked man looms over Silver, saying, as I thought, you've gone weak, Silver. If you'd stayed under me, you'd have become the perfect trainer, free of all weaknesses, including compassion. Gold calls out, you're wrong. The masked man questions, what? Gold, with a nervous smile as the Delibird's ice spike nears him, he says, you think Silver's weak? You don't know what strength is. The masked man questions, oh? Gold tells him, I've seen his strength over and over again, and it's a strength that goes deep in his soul. Exactly the strength a great trainer needs. Oh man, freaking hyping up the boy. Silver doesn't respond. The Gold smiles, saying, you're the weak one, leaning on those Team Rocket morons. The masked man grows angry, saying, you're a filth. Mouthy little, but Lava steps in between Gold and Delibird. As Gold says, watch your feet, buddy. The masked man says, what? As he sees Delibird knocked back. Silver, seeing an opportunity, brings out Sneasel and has it attack the masked man. The masked man seems wounded, holding his wound, saying, you're smarter than I thought. As Gold gets near Silver, he says, I'm finally putting some pieces together. Like how this chump is pulling all the string. and how I'm gonna help you beat him. Silver is taken aback by this, while Gold says, save the arguments. Silver just simply says, whatever. The stoic rival to the end. Gold tells him, this guy uses Pokemon and people like things. He's a disgrace to every trainer. Let's shut him down. And the two boys race in on the masked man, commanding Quailava and Sneasel to go in for the attack. The masked man laughs. I warned you against this, but I'm glad you didn't listen. As Houndour and Ariados lunge at Gold and Silver respectfully, the two boys are ready. Alright, in chapter 114, Delibird Delivery Part 2, both Silver and Gold have unleashed powerful attacks against their opponents. Gold has Quailava unleash Flame Wheel against Ariados, while Silver has Sneasel unleash Icy Wind against Houndour. But the Pokemon aren't down just yet. The masked man says, interesting. Gold questions, yeah? And the masked man says, a daring combination. Too bad it can't last. Suddenly, Ghastly pops out. It manages to hide Houndour and Ariados. Gold questioning they disappeared, only for them to be struck on the side from an invisible force. Gold gets mad, saying, I'm gonna, but he's struck from behind. The masked man confronts Silver, saying, what happened to the girl who you escaped with? The girl you liked. Oh, did she disappear by the side of the road? I hope so. It's what she deserved. Silver clenches his fist and he commands Sneasel to use Quick Attack. Sneasel clashes with Delibird. Silver then commands Sneasel to use Rock Smash, but Delibird dodges. Gold grabs Silver by the shoulder, saying, Silver, I can't believe I'm saying this, but cool it. Calm your butt down. Oh. Suddenly, the masked man is using Delibird. It's so silly looking. Using Delibird to fly away. Silver shouting, he's getting away. Out of my way, Gold, as he has Sneasel use Icy Wind to knock back Gold. He then takes off in his Murkrow, while Gold calls out, hey, what? Ice? Gold then notices his feet have been frozen, leaving him prone to the attack by the surrounding Ariados and Houndour. Gold saying, phooey. Meanwhile, Silver is chasing the masked man, shouting, stop! The masked man looks back, telling him, so fearless. Silver then has Murkrow use a wind attack to knock them down, but Delibird then uses a headbutt against Murkrow. The masked man saying, you're filled with so much courage. You've got no room for brain. After all this time, so naive that you'd fall for a trick like that. And Delibird unleashes chunks of ice at Silver. They tear into Silver. He says, I knew exactly what you were doing. You wanted to separate me from Gold. The masked man feels shocked as Silver launches at him. Silver then has Murkrow use a pack attack as well as a wing attack against Delibird as he says, but against your wickedness, I'll fight anytime, anywhere, including the middle of this lake where I just led you. Oh, yeah, we have Green helping Silver escape. That's definitely a that took them. Oh, suddenly the Gyarados, sensing something above the lake, go launching upward all around the masked man. The masked man saying, it's a Gyarados that I evolved. Silver sneers, saying, looks like I learned something from you after all. As the masked man is surrounded on all sides, he says, you, and he turns to Silver. Silver, riding on his own red Gyarados now, says, I caught the one you were using as a transmitter. That means they've all been freed from your control, and they're angry. Hyper Beam. He commands Gyarados and unleashes a massive blast. Meanwhile, Gold is racing through the forest, with his Apom being chased by Ariados and Houndour. As he says, okay, that melted the ice on my shoes, but we gotta do something about these two. Avo, do your stuff. Napalm uses its speed in order to confuse Ariados, but just as Houndour tries to go in on Apalm, Apalm is commanded to use Double Team, causing Houndour and Ariados to slam into each other hard, hitting the ground. Gold calls out, we did it, Abo. Silver, where are you? They then come upon the lake, which is the lake has been completely frozen, including the Gyarados. God damn. Gold says, huh? The lake's frozen. Where's Silver? Where's the masked guy? We see over by the downed red Gyarados, Silver and his Sneasel. Gold calls out to them as something approaches from the sky, breaking the sheet of ice on the lake, sending Silver plummeting in. Gold calls out to Silver, saying, where are you? as Silver sinks into the icy water. Gold turns, saying, if you've hurt him... Oh man, getting so defensive. Are you dating? I mean, probably some fanfic out there, you know? While the masked man calls out, your turn, unleashing more of a barrage of ice chunks towards Gold and Apom, who do their best in order to weather the attack. As the masked man moves towards them across the sheet of ice on the lake, he says, haha, what a letdown after all your talk. Gold grabs his Apom, saying, you. While the masked man turns to the broken part of the ice where Silver fell in, saying, not even as good as my old slave. Gold clenches his fist, saying, you scum. You'd already won that battle. You didn't have to do that. The masked man says, perhaps not, but life will be simpler without him. Besides, he ran away from me. For that, he deserves to be punished. Gold grows angry, saying, deserves? Who are you to say what anybody deserves? But Gold notices all too late and a massive chunk of ice is bearing down on his head. He barely has time to turn and say, what? As it comes crashing down as he screams. He then cut to Red and his Pikachu. As Yellow's Pikachu comes running up, Red turns, and the two Pikachu greet each other. Red pats both of them on the head, saying, what's this, Pika? You feeling shy? Yellow comes over saying, hey, Red. And Red says, yo, Yellow, long time no see. Daisy comes over and whispers to her, have you told him about what's in your hat? I mean, her gender isn't just all in the hat, like dang. Yellow says, not yet. Red, what happened with your hand? Red holds his hand saying, oh, you saw, just the ghost of an old injury. Man, you sound like an old war vet. It's nothing. Seriously, don't worry. Yellow tells him, but in that condition, tomorrow. And Daisy adds, she's right, Red. You should be resting. Well, Red says, look, guys, I appreciate your concern, but there's no way. Because tomorrow's exam day for the Viridian Gym Leader. Oh, really keeping that plot thread, huh? But I know what happens next. So how does that work out? In chapter 115, Fortress of Solitude. Red then goes racing off towards his Pokemon, saying, now let's keep training, leaving behind a very worried Daisy and Yellow. Oh, hey, back to Red's place. He's on his computer talking to Bill, saying, honestly, Red, I think you can ease off. This'll be a piece of cake if there ever was one. The Pokemon Association knows you inside and out. Red says, you know something I don't? But Bill says, I've just got faith in you is all. Suddenly, Red's doorbell rings, with him saying, more visitors? More visitors, huh? He answers the door saying, yeah. Then it's Misty and Brock. And Misty's saying, how you doing, Red? Ah, it's cool to see her little updated design going on there. I don't hate Misty's little haircut there. The side ponytail will always be so iconic, but they're both brandishing things. Misty says, here's the video I promised of my gym leader exam, plus note. Brock says, and here's mine. Going out of the way to deliver them in person. Nice. You know, it's funny, seeing the three of them together just makes me think of the Pokemon anime. Red grabs their videos saying, thank you. This'll help a ton. Brock says, tomorrow, huh? Finally. Misty asks, do you have a plan of attack? Red just flexes saying, guts and will. Well, Misty says, very funny. They wave to him saying, you're a shoo-in no matter what. Brock tells him, good luck anyhow. Night falls. It's so weird just to have, I kept saying it'd be great to check in on Red, but now it's weird to just have a chapter of him, and it's like we've never left. Red's lying in his bed saying, I can't help being nervous. My Pokemon are ready, and I've memorized every attack. It'd be a sure thing, except for these hands of mine. I need a plan of attack, but also backup plan if I go numb during the fight. Now, we hit the day of the battle. Red and his Pokemon are standing in an arena by some judges and a crowd. The announcer says, I shall read the rules of the exam. The candidate must defeat 6 Pokemon. Those Pokemon will have no trainers. They will battle on their own initiative. The candidate is allowed 6 Pokemon of his own, but if even one of them is incapacitated, the candidate is disqualified. Place your Pokemon in these Pokeballs, please. Red recalls all of his Pokemon, and the announcer says, the exam will now begin. Red races in. As a Pineco is sent out, Red saying, lead him with a Pineco, eh? Okay, he thinks. It's all yours, Venusaur. Venusaur comes out. Red has it use Vine Whip against Pineco, knocking it back easily. Now, next is a Fortress, and Red has Venusaur use Vine Whip again, knocking it down. Crowd says he's already through 2, or make that 3, as another Pineco goes down. Red thinks to himself, here comes number 4, keep up the pace. As it's another Fortress, as it sends out spike attacks, Red commands Venusaur to use Sweet Scent and has it return. Then brings out Slowbo, Snorlax, and commands it to use Belly Drum. Crowd questions, what's he up to? Snorlax is no better against spikes than Venusaur. Is he planning? But Snorlax reels back. The fisherman chimes in saying, Yellow, doesn't Belly Drum turn physical strength into attack strength? So, and Snorlax slams his fist into the ground, launching the spikes. The fisherman saying, yes, it pounded the ground and sent the spikes flying straight at its opponent. Red then commands Snorlax to use Mega Punch against Fortress, sending it reeling. The crowd cheers, saying, ooh, so that's why he slowed it down with Sweet Scent. Amazing, 4 opponents are down. Now it's Azumarill with its Whirlpool, and Red tries his best to withstand the torrent. He thinks, shoot, can't swap out while I'm caught in this. Gonna have to re-energize with Sleep. Snorlax does just that. But Red's legs start to kind of give in. He thinks, this is bad. Cold water's making my legs numb out faster than usual. Gotta finish this now or I don't have a chance. Yellow chimes in saying, Daisy. Red's looking kind of audacious. Yeah, thinks to herself, hang in there, Red. They then see that the water's receding as Red commands Snorlax to use Mega Kit, taking out the Azumarill. The judges say, so quick. And Red says, good job, Snore, and turns it to its Pokeball. Oh, we see that his Eevee has evolved into an Espeon. Or, yeah. As he says, okay, V, it's down to you. Well, meanwhile, the final opponent, Porygon 2, which is so funky looking. Well, someone takes a picture of Espeon. Can it still change forms? Oh, it locked on. Red says they've locked on. And here comes the Zap Cannon. Espeon is hit with the powerful blast. As the audience says, once locked on, it can't miss. Espeon HP is dropping. All Red says, sorry about that, V, but you're not done. And Espeon gives a nod. Red says, okay, we've got one last chance. Door power with the morning sun. Now, finish it. Psychic. And Espeon unleashes a powerful psychic attack against Porygon 2. Would that be super effective or just a little effective? Just regularly effective. The announcer says, Porygon 2 is down. The exam's over. Red looks to his trembling hand, but grips his fist. The chairman comes over saying, congratulations, Red. From this day forward, you are the leader of the Viridian Gym. As the chairman holds out his hand, Red says, thank you, but I'm sorry, I'll have to decline. The chairman says, what? Red tells him, it took me longer to win than I expected. And right now, to be honest, I'm barely standing. I wanted to be a gym leader for so long that I ignored all my own doubt. To take the job in my condition would be irresponsible. Hey, that's a very mature way of looking at things. And I get it, he wants to get a better handle on what he's going through, but dang, even though he's not as serious as the Red in the games, he takes things in a serious manner that the Red in the games does too. I kind of like that. The audience says, so who's gonna protect the gym? We still have a leaderless gym. Blue calls out in the distance, I'll take the job. Ooh. And he has one of my other favorite Pokemon, Scizor. Yep. I love both versions, Scyther or Scizor. Blue says, I'll even take the exam if you insist. As Blue enters with his Scizor, both Daisy, yeah, that's right, his sister. It just suddenly dawned on me, oh my god, Blue and his sister in the same place. But both Daisy and Yellow are shocked, calling out to Blue. All Red says, you're back. An audience member says, who are you? Well, Blue just walks over to Red and grabs his arm, seeing him recoil from the pain. Blue says, so this is why you were on your bike back then. Oh, that's why he was constantly on his bike. I didn't even think there was a reason behind that. I thought it was just to be cool. Blue says, I'm glad this time you had the decency to withdraw. Red doesn't respond, while the chairman says, hey, wait just 1 minute. Who do you think you are? strolling in here talking about taking over this gym. The gym leader has to prove that but suddenly there's an earthquake in chapter 116. Rock, paper, scissor. It's weird that nobody knows who Blue is, considering that he was also, in the Pokemon League, second place. Like, dang, I get it. It's not first place, but come on, man. The crowd reacts saying, what was that? Earthquake? Blue and Red nod to each other. Again, it's so weird to just suddenly jump back into things like we never left. And they race off, the chairman saying, hey, you! But Daisy says, stop Red. He's in no condition to fight. She calls out to Yellow. Yellow says, okay. As she races behind them, the people from the, Pokemon organization try to say, everyone remain calm, calm. Oh. Blue and Red exit the gym, only to be met by several wild Pokemon, and inside that group of wild Pokemon is an Alakazam. There you go. Red questions, wild Pokemon, but why? Is it Team Rocket? And that's why there would be all these high-level Pokemon just hanging out. Arcanine races towards them. Red saying, here they come. Blue tells him, no time to evacuate the gym. Red, protect the entrance. Red says, got it. Blue then commands his scissor to use Metal Claw. Nice. And it strikes at the Arcanine. Red thinks to himself, fast as usual. Right? Suddenly, there's an Executor looming over Blue and his scissor. Blue says, Executor is an old trick intimidating the enemy with its 3 heads. I mean, yeah, that would be kind of freaky. Blue says, okay then, and gets ready. While Yellow races out saying, Red, are you? But Red says, I'm okay, stay back, Yellow. Oh, the heck? Scissor's claws look like heads, and it seems like they intimidate the Executor. Yellow says, Executor is afraid, but of what? Red says, when Scissor brings his claws up by its head, they look like 3 heads too. Executor can't take it. I love how they take weird Pokedex entries and kind of just incorporate that into the actual series. Yellow says, Scissor is Blue's old Scyther? Red says, yeah, but evolved. And they mesh like only old friends can. Blue says, let's finish the rest now. To his Scissor. Oh, dang. And he has Scissor use false swipes, taking on the Executor, the Alakazam, the Rhydon. Just bam, all in an instant. Blue says good, and manages to capture all 4 of the Pokemon. Dang. Yeah, I had to double check, but those are all the Pokemon that he has when he, becomes gym leader. I didn't want to spoil it beforehand, but, we know this happens if you play the game, so Red and Yellow cheer for Blue, while the people of the Viridian City come out saying, you did it, Blue. Like no one but Professor Oak's grandson could. Okay, so some people do know who he is. The chairman of the league says, the professor's grandson? While his assistant says, not to mention, Red adds, the last league champion. Hey, the last league. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it happens every year, so Blue probably entered. Was Red in? Maybe he didn't participate? Huh. The chairman says, sure, we'd be honored to. But Blue heads over to a nearby van, hearing the song. Well, Daisy says, oh, that song. And Blue, turns it off or something? Yeah. He says, that was the Pokemon March. Whose car is this? The man says, it's the committee car. It's something all the people of the Viridian City say, you fool, wild Pokemon love that song. No wonder they were swarming. Oh. The people from the organization say, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize. While the people say, your stupid song could have killed us. Jeez. I didn't know that was a thing. Actually, no, that does sound kind of familiar. A song that makes Pokemon rampage. Blue turns saying, Mr. Director. The chairman says, what? Blue tells him, if you decide I'm not qualified, fine. But if you want people to keep trusting you, you'd better find somebody as good as Red and quick. The chairman says, you think? Dang. Oh, man. He might not be like the Blue he might not be like Gary, but he has that just ain't taking nothing from nobody mentality. Blue then tosses Red a Pokeball, saying I found that info you were looking for. Ask my sister for more details as he takes off. Red calls out to Blue silently, while the chairman says, make the announcement. We have found a new leader for the Viridian City Gym. And the sister say, what? But what about the committee's approval and the exam? Chairman says, what will an exam show? We know he has skill, leadership ability, and most importantly of all, plenty of local respect. His assistant say, but Chairman tells him, it'll be fine. We already fixed one of our mistakes. Let's not add another one, right? After all that, I wouldn't want to get involved either. We cut outside of Red's house, where he prepares himself as if to go on another journey. He says, okay, tugging on his glove. Daisy and Yellow come rushing over, calling out to him. Daisy asking, you're heading out already? Red says, yeah, I can't wait. I finally have the info I needed on how to heal myself. Oh, okay. Is that how he ends up at... I don't know if I should give it away just yet. Yellow says, you mean his hands and feet can be fixed? Daisy says, sounds like it. It'd be a little too morbid if he couldn't. Daisy says, there's this secret hot spring on Mount Silver, yep, where Pokemon go to heal their wound. Daisy flashes back to talking with her brother, with Blue saying, seems Sabrina's up there, similar symptoms after suffering the same attack. Okay, just as I was wondering. Daisy says, I can't believe it, after a whole year of trying to get well. Blue says, except, Daisy questions this. Blue saying there's a lot of powerful Pokemon on that mountain. To get this cure, he's really gonna have to want it. Wait, what? Since when does Red have a Charizard? Or is he borrowing Blue's? It has to be Blue, right? Well, he brings out Charizard and hops on. Okay, yeah, maybe that's why Blue handed over the Pokeball, because it was Charizard's Pokeball. Red hops on saying, okay, Charizard, let's go. He says, Pika, you wait for me at Yellow and Choo-Choo's place. Pikachu is shocked by this, as Red calls out, look after Pika, Yellow. Yellow questions, you're sure? Red thinks, sorry, Pika. I don't want to be blaming myself for anything happening to you, which is kind of a weird thing. Like, less things are likely to happen to you if you have your whole team. Daisy nuzzles up to Charizard saying, got him safely, Charizard. Okay, definitely Blue's Charizard. And Red takes off on Charizard saying, we're off to Mount Silver, leaving behind a very worried Pikachu. Yellow goes up to Pika saying, hey Pika, decided to go with the fisherman to Johto. I want to investigate the huge Pokemon that vanished to the west. You want to come with me? Oh yeah, it's another adventure. The two Pikachu cheer as Yellow says, sounds like yes. So come on you two, we're off to Johto. Pokemon Johto. Alright, and that's the end of the volume. And as I've just found out, the end of the artist up into this port, Mato, which was actually kind of a bummer to find out. Like, wait, what? Apparently because of some kind of illness, he wasn't able to draw for long periods of time. I think she recovered, but it switched over to someone named Satoshi, which is hilarious to find out. Satoshi, just like Ash's Japanese name, I feel like that it's destiny almost. So, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird. Going over to this new art style, which, saying that is kind of weird in and of itself, as it's been the same art style since 2001 at this point. So, we'll see. I'm gonna miss the cuter art style though. But this was actually a lot of fun. Just getting to see Red again. Almost feeling like we never left. We never lost our boy. He's always been there. Yellow setting out on a new adventure already too. I kind of wish we'd see a little bit more of Green, which is the oddest thing because Green has a relation to Silver, and yet we've seen her the least out of all of this. Because of these few chapters, we've seen plenty of Red, Blue, and Yellow. Where's Green? Maybe it's because it would give too much away. But it was really great seeing these characters back in action, and just everything comes together. Blue becoming gym leader, that was always destined to happen. And he showed up and showed off and showed why he is the best candidate. Because while Red would make an amazing gym leader, there's just things that Blue knows and that he's capable of that just really make him the best qualified match. But man, that battle against the masked man, it's also a question of, you've left us on a cliffhanger. What happened to Gold and Silver? Where did they go? Did someone swoop in and rescue them at the last minute? And man, this manga has some ballsy moves by making it so that sometimes we don't know what happens to some of the main characters sometimes. And it's not even a question of, oh, does anybody even know? It's just that we cut over to someone else completely different for a while. It's actually intriguing in that way too. I still know who the masked man is, but I still don't quite understand what his ambition is. What purpose is he doing all this? Because man, that destruction of Eckertique City, that's intense. That's really intense. Like, dang. I'll just have to wait and see, but I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. You know, everyone's kind of getting into place, but we're only so far into Johto. I mean, Faulkner, Bugsy, Whitney, Jasmine's not even in the right place. So we're not even really halfway through most of the gym leaders, but just about barely. But also setting up the mystery of, hey, someone this powerful might just be a gym leader. And it's not unprecedented for a gym leader to be leading a criminal organization. I'm interested to see how that plays out. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, especially given how I've been kind of MIA for a good long while. I'm going to try to get back on track as best as I can, but new living environment also means new responsibilities. So if you want to help me out by donating to the Patreon, thank you so much. Otherwise, just thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din and hope to see you later. So then, take care. Bye-bye.